We're live! Howdy, hoses! Welcome to the very first installment of the Who Gives a Hoot, podcast from the gentlemen of OneWeekLate.com. I'm your host, Brian Hurst, and these are also your hosts, Dane Kellum.
Hello.
And Doug Asbell.
What's up, everyone?
Alright, so this is the very first time we're ever doing this, so it's probably going to be terrible. But we're the co-hosts, all three of us, of the inactive website at the moment, OneWeekLate.com, but soon to be active again with this podcast. Dane, why don't you tell us about this here website?
So we started this website 3 months ago, where we reviewed a few of the major releases, wrote about what we were playing every week, and posted some news stories about price drops and all that kind of stuff, aimed towards people like us who have jobs that don't get games early and like review copies and all that. So we review the games when they come out. So it's going to take us a little while to play the games, review the games, and get the information to you guys. But our opinion was because we're not going to have the reviews ready to go on launch day, and that's about it. But nobody came and looked, so now we're doing a podcast.
You hurt our feelings.
Well, hopefully this will garner more attention because people love hearing voices. So,
As opposed
Doug,
to
what's your experience with 1 week late so far? What have you been writing about?
Lately, absolutely nothing. I've been kind of on the downslope with that, but it's really fun. Just you read all these big gaming websites, and it's fun just trying to get your own opinion out there and having the potential for people to actually see it and read it. I get a lot of enjoyment out of that, even though you guys aren't reading it. But just the fact that it's out there, and I'm an average dude. I work at a video store. Yes, those things still exist. I like the game. I go to work. I come home. I game. I sleep. Do it over again. Just a regular dude. And I like the fact that that's what we're trying to appeal to, is just that audience, the group that's like us.
Quick fire question: what's the best game you guys have played in the past 3 months since we started this website?
That's tough, man.
Best game. I'd probably have to say Infamous Second Son.
That was a good one.
As much as I'm enjoying Watch Dogs right now, I'm going to have to give it the Titanfall.
That's also, I've heard good things.
So I haven't played an Xbox One for a second, so.
It's good, man. It's good. I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
But maybe since they dropped the Kinect and it's $3.99, I might actually get one sometime.
I don't know how I feel about the Kinectless system, though, because having the full bundle, I guess now is what you can call it, I couldn't see myself actually playing without it. And the weird thing is that while I'm in-game, I don't really use the Kinect and its voice features a lot, but just the way you can navigate the menus, and I couldn't imagine not having it. I understand that. I guess they had to do it just to make that price point competitive, but I couldn't imagine not having the Kinect.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 Kinects for 360 and never ever use them. So
why would
Don't
you have
give up,
2?
man.
Could you use them both at once?
I mean,
Super connected.
Make like some stereoscopic 3D images of your living room.
If you could, that'd be cool. But
Are you turning into the NSA?
No, I got one at launch, and my Xbox got stolen, but they left the Kinect because who wants to Kinect?
Because they know better.
And then the Xbox I bought to replace my other one came with one. So.
Oh.
Cool. So Dane, what's your background here? Since we got Doug's.
My background, I don't know. I've been playing games for the last 20 years, probably 21 years now. I remember playing Super Mario 3 when I was 3, and then also when I was 3, I vividly remember getting a Super Nintendo for Christmas, which was the greatest system ever.
Agreed.
By a long shot. All of my favorite games are on Super Nintendo. Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, Final Fantasy 3/6, whichever.
Dude, shout out to Link to the Past.
Yeah, Link to the Past. That was the game that got me going.
Yeah.
We're talking about my background. That's where it all started. My grandma and I used to play Link to the Past together. And
Dude,
great times.
I want to say I can still remember being in diapers and like having the controller in my hand and not knowing what the hell I was doing in Link to the Past, but just running around and like cutting grass. Like it's one of my very first memories was that game specifically.
I want to say my earliest video gaming memory, probably before I was 3 years old, was my brothers were playing the original Final Fantasy on NES, and they would give me a controller, even though it was a single-player game, and tell me that I was the white mage on the screen. Like, that's you. I just remember that, even though I wasn't actually playing. Probably because I didn't have the cognitive ability.
Yeah, that's a sibling thing right there, because I used to do that to my younger brother. Whenever he would annoy you, you'd sit there and keep the controller unplugged, but tell him he's actually playing with you.
Yeah, whenever any of us have kids, I definitely think we'll probably do that.
Yeah.
Or at least I plan on doing it, because I don't want any kids messing up my games. So
True.
I already tried to teach my nephew when he was like 5 how to play Mario, the original Mario on NES, and he just kept falling into that first pit.
Yep.
Over and over, or running it straight into that first Goomba.
I actually I have 2 nieces who I gave pretty much a mint still in the box original NES for Christmas, and it's hilarious watching the progression start from always falling in the first pit or running into the first Goomba, and it's almost to the point now where I think they are better than me at the game, and it's so stupid how just watching it. It's like, dude, you're 6 and 8 years old, and it's cool though. It's very cool getting that hand-eye coordination up to par. So.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. Since I take the subway to work every day, I see a lot of kids, and cell phone games are the most popular thing to do on the train. And so I'll see like 4 and 5-year-olds playing Mario like on their parents' cell phones. And it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat to watch them suck completely. But even during a 20-minute train ride, they'll like overcome their obstacles. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't have the patience to stick with him on that, but now he knows every single thing there is to know about Minecraft, and he always wants me to play Minecraft with him.
Yeah. Oh, Minecraft. I absolutely adore that game. Yeah. Hopefully Bud will be able to experience it soon.
In August.
I think everybody...
You've never played Minecraft?
Nope. Wow. I've been waiting for it to come out on the PlayStation 4 or Vita, but it's coming out at the exact same time, so I'm just going to get it for the PlayStation 4.
I was surprised, Doug, you just played it for the first time recently.
Yeah, January.
That blows my mind. I played it like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I would see videos here and there, articles about it, and it never clicked, and it's never gonna click until you actually play the game. Which I don't know if there's still anyone out there other than Brian who hasn't played Minecraft, but if you have not, try it because you will love it once it clicks, man. You can't put it down.
I have also been disadvantaged because I've never been a PC gamer, and so that was the only way to play it for a long time.
Which I'm still fairly new to the PC game. I think March was my year anniversary of when I did my first PC build. So I'm still fairly new to Steam and that whole community. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
How many games do you have already on Steam, Doug?
Actually, I will tell you. Give me 1 second. I have 32. It looks like.
Yep.
Which
sounds like you're brand new to Steam.
Well, that's the funny thing, man, is some people that I have on my friends list that have over like 300 and 400 games, and so I'm feeling good at 32. I feel like my life isn't just an absolute waste of time at 32, so.
I have 89.
That's not even, see, that's the funny thing, is it sounds high, but there's so many cheap games that you could easily cross over 100 and 200 games without even thinking about it.
I heard some weird stat. Something like 70% of Steam games have never been played. That are purchased.
I remember reading something like that.
I totally I get that because a lot of games I haven't played. They just came in as a part of bundles, and I wanted like one of the games in the bundle, and it would have cost the same to buy just the game.
I mean, every game I have on my list has been played, but I mean there are a few of them that only have like 45 minutes to an hour on it, or stuff like that.
That's
But
a
I've
cool
at
thing
least
about
fired up
Steam.
everything I have.
Like I have FTL, if you've heard of that. I have 91 hours in it. I like
Oh
how it
man,
logs the hours.
That's a lot of hours.
I've heard of people with Dota and Team Fortress 2 hour counts in like the 100,000s.
Yeah, I can imagine.
that is nuts. Yeah, I think my highest is Skyrim at 79 hours, and then this is a kind of funny leap from genres, but my next highest would be MLB 2K12 at 56
This is actually
hours.
a good segue from my history. I remember the first time that Madden, I think it's 2005, had a counter. Maybe it was 2004. They had a time counter,
Oh, the EA
and it'd
Sports
tell you
Bio.
exactly
Yeah.
how long you played a game. And I'm pretty sure this is the highest total for me because I grew up playing sports games almost exclusively. And it was either 2004 or 2005. It got over the week total mark, and I was so impressed. But that was, of course, like right before the next game came out, so I don't know what it ended up at. But yeah, that was a ton of hours put into that game.
Yeah, that's like 168 hours on Madden.
I don't do math, so
I think my roommate's
could be.
here.
Well, gotta shut it down. This is fun. See you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Hide the porn. Hide the porn.
Oh man, if you gotta hide porn from your roommate, that's not a real roommate.
That's true. Oh look, Dane muted himself.
Nah.
So Doug,
Hey, what's up, man?
what games are you playing right now, my friend?
I'm currently playing Watch Dogs,
Me
and
too.
there's been as I've read over some websites and articles and comment sections, that there's been some complaining about this game, and I don't think it's justified. What's up?
People complain. People complain on the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
Go figure.
that's some bullshit.
But there have been some complaints about this game, and I just don't see it because I'm absolutely adoring it at the moment.
Okay, it was just my dogs making a noise that sounded like her keys opening the door.
Huh.
Ah. Well, welcome back. We're talking about Watch Dogs now. We're actually talking
Yeah.
about the games we're playing. So,
We-
well, let's save the Watch Dogs talk for a little bit later. Are you playing anything else, Doug?
No, not really. I went on a little Twilight Princess binge. I've actually never finished that game, and I bought it about a year ago. Played it for the first time last year for a few hours, and it just kind of got put back on the shelf. So about 3 weeks ago now, I fired it up, and I've put like almost 20 hours into it. I think I just got past. I think it's the Arbiter Grounds for anybody that's Zelda fan out there. And now I have to get the pieces of the Twilight Mirror back together. So I'm guessing I'm close to halfway. Dane, have you beaten Twilight Princess?
I did, like, the week it came out. Well, no, not the week it came out, because I lied. It came out with the Wii, and then the Wii was, like, ridiculously hard to find. And then I ended up being able to buy one off a friend whose parents bought two to sell. They weren't going to sell the other one to make a profit off of, but he convinced them to just sell it to me for regular price.
Nice.
So it was like a month or so after launch. But yeah, I just like slogged through it, and that's the bad part. I don't remember a single thing about that game except the fact that you turn into a wolf, and spoilers for a 10-year-old game, almost midnight. Oh wait, no, I don't want to spoil it for you because you haven't beat it.
I think I have an idea of what Midna is all about.
No, I won't spoil it.
Yeah, don't. I'll get back on there eventually.
So yeah, I don't remember anything about that game. And leading up to the launch of Skyward Sword, I did this thing of my own volition before I had a website to talk about it on, where I played every Zelda game ever. I was going to play them like to completion. For whatever reason, when I got to Ocarina of Time, I was like, man, I played the shit out of this game 15 years ago or whatever it is now, and don't want to play it that much. Not to the end, anyway. So I barely played that, and then I put in Majora's Mask, and I barely played that, and then Wind Waker, same thing, didn't finish that, and Twilight Princess, I barely started it. I don't know what it is with the 3D ones, but I could play the crap out of Link to the Past, though.
Fun fact: I've never played, well, for more than like an hour. I've never played any of the other Zelda games other than Link to the Past.
Wow.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Sad.
But I mean, you were. I mean, as long as I've known you as the PlayStation guy. You've always had a PlayStation. There was a 360 stint there for a while.
There was an Xbox, the original Xbox stint, also.
But I mean, you never had an N64 or Wii or a GameCube, which I never owned the GameCube, but
so that's Sony fanboy since day one.
That's fair. You know, some people are out there like, you've never played a Zelda game before. It's fair.
With the exception of the 3 Philips CDI games from the 80s and a couple of the new DS Zelda games, I played every Zelda game ever made.
Likewise, except for man, I think I still need to play Skyward Sword. Haven't started that yet. Wind Waker, which I'm kind of looking forward to buying the HD remix finally.
Well, and get Mario Kart 8, you get it for free.
Yeah, I need to do that. And then not Phantom Hourglass, but Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks.
I didn't like that one.
I never played Spirit Tracks. Phantom Hourglass is really good, I thought, but I haven't touched Spirit Tracks.
I haven't played Minish Cap. Was that on GBA or DS?
Minish Cap was Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. I didn't play that. Phantom Hourglass and A Link Between Worlds.
Oh, A Link Between Worlds, the sequel to Link to the Past.
Yeah.
I wish I had a DS now, or 3DS.
I was close to buying a 3DS when they had that sale to get Pokemon and another game for free.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been even broker now, and I'm pretty broker now.
Yeah, tell me about it. So, Brian, what are you currently playing, dog?
Dog? It's clever. Dog. I am currently playing Watch Dogs as well. Kind of slowly. I had a good 4-hour session the other day, but that's pretty much it. But I've also been playing a lot of Limbo since it came out for the PlayStation Plus for this past month.
Did you finally make it past your
I did.
treacherous point that you told me of?
I did. It was terrible. Now I'm on to the next head scratcher. But the problem is,
first time playing it?
I played it. Doug had it on PC a while back when I was back in Alabama, and so I played it there, and it was a lot of fun because he let me play a few times. And so it was really good. So that's what I was looking forward to when I saw it was announced. That was the game last month I was most looking forward to. It's been fun. I just play it late at night, which is the problem because I'm usually tired, and it's not a great game to play while you're tired because you have to actually use your brain, which is really nice, and that's why I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say it's not a good time to play it at night because you're scared.
Yeah, I'm so scared. It's a very creepy experience. I've been listening to Queens of the Stone Age and playing this game, and it's dark, and I have these red lights in my room, such as it's dark with red light, and then Limbo, and then Queens of the Stone Age. It's very creepy. It's a good atmosphere.
Every 5 seconds.
Pretty much. I die at least twice or 3 times every time I get to a somewhat difficult part.
And shout out the Queens of the Stone Age, by the way.
Yeah.
Josh Homme, if you're listening, I love you, man.
Well, that's the goal. That's the goal, is to get him to listen to this and play video games with us. Although he's probably too cool for that. But maybe just a guitar lesson, that would be nice. But other than Limbo, the other game I've been playing on my phone, because I'm not a big phone gamer. I don't like mobile games because I think they're dumb. But I've been playing 2048, which is the knockoff version of Threes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's what? Oh, you paid the $1.99 for it?
Yeah.
Is it worth it to pay the $1.99?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everyone was talking about it on Twitter, so I got it. I had a bunch of gift card money on my iPhone balance. Yeah, 2048 is the free version, and it behaves exactly the same. Yep. But it's been a lot of fun. So on the train, it's a perfect time to play because it's short. Yeah. And I'm getting close. Haven't gotten there yet, but yep. And then Watch Dogs. That's the biggest one. But Dane, what have you been playing? Threes? No, not too much Threes. I played a lot of it when it first came out, but got burnt out because I couldn't get my score past a certain number. Mm-hmm. What have I been playing? So I was playing a lot of Hearthstone, a lot.
I remember that.
And then me and Trisha went on a lot of trips. We went to New Orleans, we went to Jacksonville, and just being gone from Hearthstone for those 2 weekends kind of broke me of its curse, I guess. Its addictive qualities. Yeah, that and the fact that I gotten better, and so my rank, I rose in the ranks, and the people I'm playing are way better and they all have the super rare legendary cards in their deck, and I have none. So I don't really have anything to do against them. Right. When they play 3 legendary cards, I just have no strategy to combat that, so I just lose. So I've been losing a lot. So that kind of got me off the game because I don't want to. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be against paying to buy some cards because it's a good game. Like that's my philosophy with free-to-play games. Like if it's a good enough game, I don't mind giving the developers money. Mm-hmm. But there's some weird thing, some weird stigma to me for just buying random cards. You know.
I think when it comes to any extra you have to pay for, I hate the pay-to-win formula, and that's what worries me the most. I mean, I guess if you have the money, go for it. You know, pay for it and get it. But
and this is kind of pay-to-win, but at the same time, there's a guy that's really good at the game, and he made a video series called Free to Play, and he has 2 different series where he plays because there's 9 classes in the games, and he plays as 2 different classes from nothing. Starts a new game on a different server, so he doesn't have any cards, just has the basic cards, and makes it all the way up to the legend rank, which is the highest you can go, without paying any money. So it's possible. He's also really good and knows every card in the game, so he knows every card that the other player could have in their deck at any given time.
It just almost feels, I can't really say a cop-out, but let people play your game, you know? Don't give them a reason to skip ahead and like let them play your game.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't put any money to it. I've definitely played it over 50 hours of Hearthstone for free, so it's not like they're not letting people play for free.
Yeah, I think there's an article on GameSpot recently that was talking about microtransactions and how it's the solution to a problem that was created by developers. Basically, the argument is that things should be unlockable just through the amount of time that you play a game, not how much money you want to throw at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can get those legendary cards just from playing, but they're ultra rare, you know. So
right,
the odds that you're gonna open a pack with one. I finally got one, and it's not one that I can really use in my deck strategy. So,
well, let me ask you a question, Dane. You said that you're traveling. You went to Jacksonville, New Orleans. While you were in New Orleans, how many sets of boobs did you see?
Just one. Just my wife's.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, there was a bunch of girls up on a balcony, and they kept going, woo! And they were like trying to throw beads down to people, but like it was like Thursday, so no one cared. Yeah.
It was a Thursday.
Yeah, my dog's name is Thursday, so he just on my lap. So.
I just expect boobs at all times in New Orleans.
Dude, New Orleans is if it's not Mardi Gras, man, it's a pretty terrible place.
We went again on Friday night, and I didn't see any boobs then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I was just in the wrong place. Yeah, wrong time.
Gotcha. Well, moving on from boobs, even though I do love boob conversation.
I'll never move on from boobs.
Well, I could never move on from boobs. Just onto boobs.
I have a silo of boobs.
Yes.
Just a silo full of boobs.
So what's going on in the news in the gaming world as we move away from boobs and silos? Have you guys seen anything interesting lately? What sparks your interest?
Oh man, what has been going on lately? I've just been playing.
The Xbox One price drop. That was big.
Yeah.
That was big.
There's EA Mythic closed their studio. They stopped making real games and went to free-to-play stuff on iPhone. Dungeon Keeper, which I tried out, and was really annoying with the amount of push notifications they send, and it's basically Clash of Clans, which they couldn't compete with because it's already such a staple for the common folk.
I feel like news is going to be a little short following, E3 coming. So, Bud, you were actually going to an E3 event. Well, not an actual E3 event, but tell us about it.
It is an E3 event.
Yeah, technically.
It will probably be big deal in New York. In Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
The theater that they're having it in Birmingham, they probably won't even give anything away.
Well, I think they said that they're giving stuff away at every theater, so I'm guessing it's the same stuff, which means it's probably not great. But I don't know if they're having separate giveaways at separate locations. But yeah, I expect the New York stuff to be big. What Doug's talking about is this. It's so E3 is coming up. It's June 9th are these press conferences before E3 proper. And so across the country, Sony is broadcasting their E3 press conferences in movie theaters in 40 cities. And since I live in New York and I am a Twitter fiend, I saw it fast enough to register. And it's all free, which is the reason I'm going. So I signed up, I registered, I'm going to be there June 9th, like 9 o'clock or something. And yeah, it sold out really fast, so I'm pretty fortunate to get in there. But they said that they're gonna have the whole press conference and then 30 minutes of exclusive content, which who knows what that actually means, whether it's just interviews or like game videos and trailers and whatnot. But they're giving away stuff, which I'm pretty excited about because I like free stuff, especially from Sony. Yeah,
fanboy.
I am a fanboy. I will proudly display it at work or something that I went to this thing. Yeah, should be nice. Meet some New York City Sony fanboys and girls. Hopefully more fangirls than boys. But
you might be surprised, man.
Well, I guess I have a girlfriend now, so I can't really say that I need to meet Sony fangirls. That's bad. But anyway, so it should be cool. I'm expecting to see a lot of like Podcast Beyond crap t-shirts everywhere because the Beyond crowd is strong in New York. Yep. So that'll be fun. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping that, that might just be the kick to the pants we need to get the website popping again. It's the biggest time of the year for video games, so.
That's true. E3 is huge. One year I'd like to actually go.
Oh, that'd be incredible, man. We should all three plan that out one year, actually.
But we should all go 1 week late, so we miss everything.
Yeah. But goodbye, everyone. I'm out.
All right. Yeah, other stuff in the news that excites me is the continuation of Red Dead, because Red Dead Redemption, despite the fact that I haven't finished it and I've gotten to the same point 3 times. I already know what happens. I know what happens, so I don't have to go to
Yeah, but you haven't experienced it.
Well, I've been to Mexico and I've heard that song enough that I feel like I've experienced it. So.
What is it? The Jose Gonzalez song, Far Away? I love that song.
Yeah, it touches my soul every time.
Oh,
but
so perfect. Yes, Red Dead 3, potentially.
It's exciting.
It is.
Who knows what'll happen?
Actually, on our website, I did our my top 5 favorite games of all time, and Red Dead Redemption, I believe, was number 2, only to Deus Ex. So I'm very excited.
I'm so surprised that Deus Ex is your number 1 game of all time.
Deus Ex is a strong choice, though. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I would probably put it in the top. I'd definitely put it in the top 10. I don't know about top 5.
Deus Ex was, and when it first came out and I purchased it, I really didn't know much about it aside from the videos I saw and whatnot. But it surprised me, man. I mean, the moment it started, I couldn't put it down. I think I've beaten it. I want to say about 6 times.
Deus Ex: Human Revolution from 2 years ago.
Yes,
I thought that game was maybe above average, but I wouldn't put it anywhere near my top 10.
Oh man, I got so enthralled by it. I felt the stealth was really good, and anytime if I can make it through a whole game using only stealth, I'm super stoked for that, because I really hate confrontation in video games. It's like first-person shooters, all that stuff. You have to confront the opposing team or whatever. So that's fine. But if I have a choice and I can get it through an entire game without having to kill anyone, I find that so nice to be able to do that. And that's what I really loved about that game, is there's so many ways you can go about playing it, and the story was excellent too. So.
Did you ever get your trophy for not setting up any alarms?
Yeah, no. Back when I owned a PS3, which I unfortunately no longer do, I was playing Deus Ex for about a week straight, and I think within that week's time, I beat it about 3 times. First time I beat it, I was just kind of like running through having fun. The second time I decided I was going to go for the trophies where you don't kill anyone and you don't set off a single alarm. And I swear on everything, I did both of those, and all I got was the one where you don't kill anyone. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play this game through one more time, and I swear again on everything. I made it through the entire game without setting. I was actually saving like every 10 seconds. Whenever there was an alarm around, I was making sure not to set off the alarms, and I got through the entire game, and that trophy still did not pop up for me. So I kind of made it a point to just not mess with it ever again until I got it on Steam for like $3. Then I'm like, I'll play it again. But yeah, there's a little bit of bad blood there with that game because I should call Sony, and even though I don't have a PlayStation anymore, and just say, hey, give me that trophy. I deserve it.
Sure. I would do it.
Speaking of calling Sony, this is something interesting that's happened since we were writing a lot, which I probably would have written something about this. So Trisha wanted Wolfenstein, the new Wolfenstein, Wolfenstein: The New Order, and I bought it for her on PS4. I downloaded it. I bought a digital copy, and she got really mad because she was like, "I don't want it on PS4. I don't want it digital." Blah blah blah. That's so dumb to get a digital copy of a game. We had this big argument, but anyways, I don't see the difference between digital and physical. So I wrote Sony and told them that my wife bought it on 360 earlier that day, and I hadn't launched the game or anything. So if you could revoke my license and give me a refund, I would appreciate it. But if not, I understand. Like all sales are final or whatever. And the representative was like, "Yeah, all sales are final, but I'll open a case for you, and they'll email you within the next 7 business days." And the next day, they emailed me and said, "As a one-time show of good faith, we'll refund you for Wolfenstein: The Order."
Wow.
So,
see, Sony wins.
I got my money back. Yeah,
company.
that's what I figured. I think they're trying to like be the cool guy right now.
Oh, definitely, and they are the cool guy.
Yeah, with all like how they started out with the indie game stuff, and how they started out with the free games with PlayStation Plus, and now they gave a refund where they had all the right not to. And as a side note, I can still play Wolfenstein on my PS4.
Wait, they refunded you, and you still have the game?
Apparently, like I have the option to buy it still, like on the PS4. If you go to the game and then push down, it goes to the overview thing.
Right.
If it's a game, but it's a game you don't own, it gives you the option to buy it right there. And so I have the option to buy it. All my other games that I own, I don't have the option to buy it anymore. But I can launch it and play it, start a new game.
Interesting.
So
have you played it?
I haven't played it because I kind of feel bad if I were to play it.
Oh, I see. So you're just gonna leave it there forever?
I guess. I have these weird ethics and stuff.
That's very well. I mean, Sony went out on the limb.
Yeah, they hooked you up, so.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. It's cool. And I heard that game is really good, so I might actually play it.
I saw a lot of good reviews on it, so I might have to give it an old rental or something.
Yeah, I'm surprised. You guys still get games at Video Warehouse?
Yeah, we're getting Xbox One and PS4s. No Wii U's, which I understand that. I mean, it sucks for the Wii U crowd, but we really have no reason to rent those games out.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Redbox hasn't done Xbox One yet.
I am too. I mean, everybody, that's usually what I get every time I'm at work. There's like 10 separate occasions each day where someone comes in and like, I'm surprised you guys are still in business. And I'm like, ho ho.
Yeah, I mean, Redbox, they have 360 and PS3 games and Wii games, but they don't have the new consoles.
I mean, that and, Enterprise is right next to Fort Rucker, which is a big military base, and we get a lot of military people. I think that's what's honestly keeping us in business.
Well, I mean, you guys are the only ones that still have more than one night.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, like when we were all kids in elementary school, middle school, and high school, and you had the option of a Blockbuster or Movie Gallery, and then Video Warehouse came along, and that was like the cool place to go. But you still had all 3 options. So if like Blockbuster didn't have your game, you could go to Movie Gallery or Video Warehouse. Now there's just one, and it kind of makes me sad.
Yeah. I'm still employed, though, so I'm happy.
That's what counts.
That is what counts.
I looked at Movie Gallery once.
Did they have like a big sale? Did you go and like buy a bunch of stuff or anything?
No, I think I moved to Birmingham right when it closed.
That wasn't, man, when did Movie Gallery close? That was about 8 years ago now? Or maybe.
Yeah, that had to be a long time ago. Was it that recent?
2009, yeah. As I worked there in 2008.
Oh, okay, so it was only about 5 years ago then.
Speaking of how cool... So, whoa, do you have more to add about Movie Gallery?
Oh, all I was gonna say was it's sad in a sense, like especially when Blockbuster went under. It's just like, man, it's like, something you would do with the family. You'd go out and rent stuff, or you bug your mom to go rent a game, and it's like it's kind of sad seeing all these like brick and mortar stores go down. But that's the way the world's turning now, is everything's going digital and
But now we can
convenience
sit in front of a TV and we can argue about what's watched on Netflix because you have 1,000 options that nobody wants to watch.
yeah, exactly. You spend more time trying to find something to watch than actually watching anything. I love it.
That's why I only watch TV shows on there now, because there's a lot of content. Once you decide to start watching a TV show, you're set for like weeks.
Yeah.
But if you try to watch movies, then it's a constant struggle.
True.
Unless it's really good.
I went on a straight old B-rated horror binge a few weeks back, and I loved every minute of it, even though every movie was just terrible.
They're bad. But back to Sony being the cool guy, we're going to talk about PlayStation Plus, because
Sony's
it means a lot
smoking
to me.
in the bathroom.
Sony is the one on the airplane going in and pulling off the smoke detector and smoking in that bathroom. They're cool guys. They're cool guys. They say, fuck this shit.
Xbox is the one trying to put on limitations and spy on them and watch you masturbate. And Xbox is just weird. They're like the creepy uncle, man. Nobody likes Xbox except me.
I blame Bill Gates for doing that. But yeah, PlayStation Plus. There are some big changes coming up. Dane, did you see this? I know you're a PlayStation Plus person.
I think I saw that they're doing all the games up front or something.
Yeah. So like the first Wednesday of every month now, all the games become free, which is great because I hated waiting. It's always my favorite games each month would wait until the end. Like Limbo didn't come out until the last week of this month, and so I was a little bummed about that. But now they all come out at the same time, so you can just binge on gaming for the whole month. But there are some really good games this month also. Pretty excited about that.
Another thing that they said?
Yes, there are now 2 PlayStation 4 games per month instead of just 1. And they're cutting off, or they're going from 3 PlayStation 3 games to 2, which is fine by me, because the less I play my PlayStation 3, the happier I am. It's time to let that thing pass away in peace.
Yeah, I keep getting the new game, or the free games rather, from the browser store, PlayStation Network store, and not launching my PlayStation and downloading them, my PS3.
I think I went on a binge one night and just downloaded a ton of games, and now I have like 25 games on there. But I honestly don't know when I'm going to play any of them.
Like, I need to get back and play Uncharted 3. I played the first 2. I'd like to see how that series ends, even though they're supposed to be making a sequel.
Yeah, the super delayed sequel. Speaking of games I haven't played, let's talk about Uncharted 2 and 3.
Oh man, fantastic.
That was a dark time of gaming for me. When my last few years of college, I think I played Borderlands and Resistance and sports games, and that was it. Oh, and Nazi Zombies. I played lots of Call of Duty World of War. Nazi Zombies was a great drunk Saturday afternoon through Sunday evening game. We'd just be drunk the entire time and just play Call of Duty. Other than that, I miss out on a lot of stuff. So I guess I shouldn't put the PlayStation 3 to rest yet, because I have a lot of things to do.
Or hopefully they'll give you a PlayStation Now option and then go back and revisit those.
Speaking of PlayStation Now, the PlayStation 3 beta came out a while back, like 2 months ago. And I got that, and I tried it once, and it worked fine. It was cool. And now I just got the beta invitation for PlayStation 4 last week. And I have yet to try that out, but I'm guessing it works exactly the same. It should run about the same.
Actually, that is one thing I'm quite ignorant on, is what are they doing as far as payment options? Is that going to be something you get free with a Plus subscription, or are they going to eventually charge a subscription separately for that?
I don't know that answer for sure. I know that they're still working on prices, but I don't think Plus is going to be free for that, because that's probably too much content for free, because I think they're planning on having like a pretty extensive library.
I'm sure there'll be per game, or pay per game.
I think you do, and you have rental options. Right now, it's like the 135 or 357 day options. Not 100% sure. When you go into PlayStation Now, it lists all 3, but it says they're all free since it's a beta version. So I don't know if they've set prices yet.
How many games are there now?
It's on a rotating thing, so I think there are like 12 that you can play at the moment, but it changes every few weeks now, so that's pretty cool. I haven't looked at it in a couple weeks, just because I have so many games that I actually own to play, and these games are older and kind of crappy. There's like a Cabela's game on there that I thought about playing, Big Game Hunting, but I didn't do that. I did actually go to a bar the other day that has arcade games in it, and I played Iron Man Pinball, And then I also
Nice.
played Cabela's Big Game Hunting. So that was pretty fun, especially because I was not sober.
Some good old arcade games.
Yeah. Iron Man Pinball is pretty cool. They also had Metallica Pinball, which I really hope played Metallica while you played.
Oh, of course, definitely.
But I didn't get a chance to try that, so I'm gonna have to go back. This place is called Pioneers. It's in Chelsea, in Manhattan. So shout out to Pioneers for being fucking awesome and having a hot bartender. But the games for PlayStation Plus this month, NBA 2K14 is pretty big for people. I'll play that because it's a sports game.
That blew my mind when you told me about that.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I wouldn't be surprised if sports games become a bigger part of PlayStation Plus because they're not really losing much, especially if you. It's free, yeah, and if you do it at the end of a game's lifespan, I mean, I'm sure for people that bought NBA 2K14, they're going to buy NBA 2K15, and so by throwing it out there now, you know, they're not losing anything because people probably already own it.
Is it free for June?
Yeah, it's free for June.
Oh, wow, because GameSpot has a tournament thing going on right now where the top 2 people get flown to E3 to compete.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But on it.
When I checked, there was only like 240 people on 360, and I thought about going and finding probably a red box that had 2K14, seeing if I could go up the ladder a little bit.
I will say,
I never play sports games.
There's I own 2K14 on Xbox One. I do enjoy sports, but that was I'm not a big basketball fan, but that was the game that I said I have to get this just because I need to see how good it really looks, and it does look incredible. But it's a basketball game made by people who really love basketball, so there's quite a steep learning curve. Because I think the last 2K game I really got into was like 2K9, I think. And there's a lot of stuff you do with the right stick and the triggers, and
yeah,
it's a very fluid game. And when you get it, it all comes together, and you feel like you're actually watching and playing a real game of basketball. But there's a steep learning curve to it when you're first starting out, especially if you've never played one of the 2K games.
Yeah, I got my big 2K experience back in the day, and I still own this game because it's my favorite sports game of all time, even though I don't especially like basketball. But College Hoops 2K8, which is the last College Hoops that 2K made before EA Sports became like a monopoly on college basketball, was the most amazing game ever. It was so deep. Hoops was so deep. The mechanics were amazing. You felt like you're actually controlling a human being, not controlling like a freaking robot. The recruiting was amazing. All the Dynasty features were amazing. They had selection shows, the extra tournaments other than the NCAA tournament, so you get into the NIT. I don't know if the CIT was in there, but it was an amazing game. And so I've played that for like 5 years while I just had a PlayStation 3, even though, you know, at the end of the 5 years it was really starting to look old. But it was an amazing game. But yeah, the right stick is a bitch in those games. The post moves, you have to like study them. There are entire threads on Operation Sports. They're like huge, like hundreds of pages of people talking about like a breakdown of the moves and like timing and all this stuff and like situational stuff. And it's crazy. It's crazy because people talk about it like it's actually playing basketball. It's not just like playing a video game where it's like, hey, spam the shoot from like, 15 feet. You're going to make it. But there's all this stuff about like body position and all the crap. And so that was the first game that was really cool that you felt like you were playing a sport and not just playing a sports game. So that's why I want to get NBA 2K14 because I had such a good experience. College Hoops 2K8. Plus it had Ohio State, Greg Oden, big center back in the day. He was on the cover, so it was special.
College senior or freshman.
Hey, he's going to the finals. He's going to the NBA finals, man.
He is.
He's going to get a ring. He deserves it. LeBron is going to get him a ring.
Hopefully he doesn't break his toe again or something.
I think he's broken his knees like 18 times. So
everybody knows the best basketball game ever made was NBA Courtside 2 featuring Kobe Bryant on the Nintendo 64.
I
didn't play in 64.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I actually ever played that.
It has a mode where you can there will be these little points on the court where you can score 20 points in one basket.
Wow. That actually does sound familiar. Like I've played. Maybe I have played. I don't know.
Because arcadey style sports games are the only style sports games.
Dude, I will give a shout out to NBA Street.
NBA Jam.
Specifically,
NBA Jam.
Volume 2.
Yes.
NBA Street Volume 2 was my jam back in the day.
Those were fun games. The NBA Street games were really good. They were much better than like the NFL or like FIFA Street games that came out.
What about, oh man, what was it called? The Mario Strikers?
Never played that.
Is that a soccer game?
Yeah. That's the best soccer game.
Nintendo. I'm lost on Nintendo if it's not Pokemon or Link to the Past.
Those two games and only those two games.
I said
we had Donkey Kong. We used to play the shit out of Donkey Kong 2 when we were growing up.
That's true. And there's like even before that Duck Hunt. I played a lot of Duck Hunt when I was like 5 and 6 because the gun was amazing. That's how I got my gun mentality because I love guns. Just kidding. I don't love guns. But the other games, PlayStation Plus, Pixel Junk Shooter Ultimates, which Pixel Junk Shooter came out on PlayStation 3 back in the day, and I had that, and it's a lot of fun, so I imagine this will be just as fun, and it'll be fun to play with people. Finally, I'll have a multiplayer game on PlayStation 4, like local multiplayer. Trine 2 Complete Story, which, Doug, I think you played this.
I have. It is exquisite.
Good description. PlayStation 3, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. I was never a Sly Cooper fan.
Oh, I love me some Sly, bro.
I was pissed about Sly Cooper taking over for Crash Bandicoot as like the mascot of Sony and PlayStation, so I chose not to play Sly Cooper at all.
PlayStation fanboy beef with PlayStation.
Yeah, with Sony. Fuck you, Sony. That was my way of saying go to hell. On Vita, there's Mutant Mudds Deluxe, which I have no idea anything about that game. And then Terraria, which I am super excited about since I haven't played Minecraft. This is like the next closest thing, and it's a 2D version. PlayStation Plus.
Heard a lot of good things about Terraria, so hopefully you'll enjoy that.
I think I will. I will let you know. I think this is the last month that they come out on a staggered schedule, so they won't all be available this Wednesday. But starting in July, they will. So I might have to wait to play Terraria. I'm not sure when it comes out. What's the situation with Xbox games for gold?
The last I heard is they're going to start bringing it to the Xbox One, and hopefully, which I've read that they will start giving us newer, better games as opposed to, hey, here's Halo 2 and it's 2013. Enjoy it. Nobody wants that crap for free now. But
I would take that for free. I'd play Halo 2. Do it.
Having said that, it's like I actually would play Halo 2, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean they really got to start getting on Sony's level. Free games are always good, no matter what it is. If it's free, beggars can't be choosers, But they really got to start pumping it out like the Sony store is. It's ridiculous.
Well, with Phil Spencer taking the lead over at Xbox, they actually said that they're going to start doing free games on Xbox One. Which
can I just say he just seems like a good dude. Like he's the right pick.
So for June is going to be the first month for free Xbox One games, and my dog's being really loud running around.
Damn Dags.
Dags.
Do you hear that?
Oh, I hear that. I hear Dags. I always hear Dags. They haunt my dreams.
Max the Curse of Brotherhood and Halo Spartan Assault are going to be...
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about Curse of Brotherhood.
Is this a new... What's this Halo game? Is there a new Halo game?
I think that's a twin-stick shooter.
Yeah, twin-stick shooter. I'd heard it was bad.
I've heard mixed things on it, but nobody's ever said it was good.
And then Max the Curse of Brotherhood is like Limbo with...
It's like a brighter
colors.
Limbo. Yeah. It's a happier Limbo.
Yeah, and it has like the paintbrush mechanic from what was that game on PS2?
Okami?
Yeah, Okami.
Yeah. But yeah, you can like raise platforms a little like I think it's a marker that he has.
Yeah.
And you can use it to raise platforms and like draw vines and help to traverse your environment.
Yeah, I played the trial and I was like, yeah, I think I'll just stick to Limbo. I liked Limbo better.
Yeah, Limbo's a lot of fun.
It's going to be tough for anything as far as the puzzle and 2D platformer to top Limbo because that was special, man. Yeah. Especially the ending. But what the ending is...
I know, you told me about it. You ruined it for me.
Sorry. It's heavy, though. It made me think.
And then on 360, they have Dark Souls, which is pretty good.
That is a great game.
Yeah, that I might have to do that because I purchased Dark Souls when it first came out, and it was one of those things that I played for about an hour, and then my younger brother just absolutely beasted through it. So I might have
Yeah,
to give it another shot.
the game's tough. I bought it. They had a sale one time when it was $5, and I got it then. And then Charlie Murder is this like side-scrolling beat 'em up old school
Guys,
arcade
let me
style
tell you
game.
about Charlie Murder. This game, I'm just kidding. Keep going. I know nothing about it.
It seems cool. I haven't actually played it myself, but there's like 4 different characters and they all have different abilities. There might be 5 characters because there's like the drummer, the singer, guitarist, bassist, and then Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition is June 16th to the 30th, which I'll totally download, even though I'm not a gold subscriber. I mean, there was well, it's actually Super Street Fighter.
I think what the arcade means is there's certain differences between like the cabinet games and the console games, and I think what the arcade version is it's gonna have the original
like old school cabinet game.
Yeah. It's like on the Wii Virtual Console. You can choose. I think Galaga is one of the games, but you can either buy the NES version or the arcade version. And I actually bought the NES version because that's what I grew up with, so I don't know the real differences of that, but I guess there's slight differences between the cabinets and the console versions, so I think that's what that means.
Yeah, well, so for Street Fighter 4 specifically, that game came out in like 2009, I think. 2008 or 2009, and then instead of doing just like patches or DLC, Capcom decided to do their updates where they just changed the title and put out a whole new game for $40 or something like that. So it was Street Fighter 4, then it was Super Street Fighter 4, and then Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and now they're actually coming out with another Street Fighter. There's like Super Street Fighter 4 Turbo Arcade Edition.
Yeah.
And then they're coming out with one, I think it came out like 2 weeks ago. It's like Super Street Fighter 4 Championship Edition Ultra something.
I think there's too much fighting going on in the streets.
Where and each time it's just like a tiny upgrade. Like they'll add 4 characters or something. They'll tweak some of the balances between the characters, and
this sounds like what EA Sports does with all their sports games.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Speaking of which, there's huge news about EA Sports. Doug, I don't know if you saw this thing. You might have, where EA Sports settled with the suing party of the student athletes for likeness rights, and so each person's getting paid like $982 per game that they appeared in. I don't know how they're deciding like where, because I know in default rosters they would have 90% of them right, but then there are a couple that weren't necessarily exactly right, so I think it's going to be interesting to see if those student athletes get pissed because they might not be able to get money because it wasn't exactly right, like height and weight and number and stuff, but it's obviously supposed to be them. But yeah,
it's
so
only like $3,000 then, right?
Right, but still, that's huge for them to actually get that money and for EA Sports to settle instead of going to court and everything, so that's finally over.
Of course they would settle because they don't want it to be more than $900.
Right. Exactly. I don't know how much student athletes should deserve to get in the game because I don't think one person makes more of a difference than others. But I just think it's funny that some of these people that have no impact on the game essentially will be getting paid. It's like a blurry line to walk, but at least now it's over. I still don't think EA Sports is going to make a college football game for the near future, which sucks.
What sucks is I don't think anyone's going to make one in the near future just because of all the stuff that's been surrounding EA Sports with the lawsuit. I don't think it's something that anyone wants to touch at this moment, but I wish someone would pick it up.
Well, I think it's a bigger deal than that. I think it's the NCAA is going to be the thing that holds it back because once they decide that, hey, these people can get paid for this stuff, then that's fine, and then these games will come back. It just sucks because that's a huge business. Like NCAA football was one of the bigger games for EA Sports every year, and so now you're taking away money from everything else that EA Sports does, the smaller stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought there was like a law or something that student athletes could not be paid at all for anything, so that's why they don't even have their names on their jerseys in the real games, do they?
They don't. No, you have to add those in. People would go in and modify the roster.
No, I mean like in real life.
Oh, you can have
yeah. You can have names on the back of your jersey during
the
the game.
players
So I don't
on the
watch
field
sports.
have the names on their jerseys, but you can't sell the jersey with the player's name on it.
Right.
Like anytime you buy a college football jersey, it comes without the name because the student can't get paid for it.
But it's really funny because if you go on the NCAA's website, they have a shop. And if you search in the search bar for certain student athletes' names, it'll show you the exact jersey that they wear. So, like for Auburn fans, if you went back and looked for a Cam Newton jersey, and so you typed in Cam Newton, it would come up with the Auburn #2 jersey, even though there's not supposed to be any connection. Like the NCAA is a bunch of freaking hypocrites.
Yeah.
To just make all this money. So once they decide to get off their, period with this stuff, they'll, hopefully we'll have college football back in video game form. But I wouldn't be mad. What was that game did 2K make it, Doug? The pro football like Legends game?
All Pro Football 2K9, I believe it was.
Yeah. See, if they did something like that, I wouldn't even mind. Like, just have fake players. I don't care if I'm using real people, but I want the real colleges. That's it. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. There hasn't been much news with that, sadly, because I keep pretty focused on that kind of stuff because I still love sports games. So let's talk about Watch Dogs for a few minutes before we wrap this shindig up.
What is Watch Dogs?
Did you get some hoots in there?
Who watches the Watch Dogs, guys?
Oh, it's like a paradox.
Oh,
Are there any dogs to watch in the game?
I don't know. I've been looking for dogs. I don't think they actually put any dogs in the game. Which
I haven't seen any dags yet.
Ironic. No dags.
There's dogs
not
in
these
Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah, well, they decided not to put them in Watch Dogs. Total bullshit. Ubisoft could suck it.
Oh, that was the best part of Assassin's Creed 4 is petting the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just watch the dogs all day.
Killing the British. I think killing the British was the most fun part because you're fighting for America. So, fuck yeah, America.
3.
That was 3. 4 is Pirates of the Caribbean's dog.
Oh, my bad. Hey, you can still kill the British though, and you're in a roundabout way fighting for the future of America, even though you're like 40 years before America's a thought. Sorry, bros. I got my games mixed up.
But yeah.
So Watch Dogs.
Really?
Doug, what's your favorite part of Watch Dogs so far?
Oh, just how detailed the world is and how every NPC, what you can do is you pull up your phone and you can hack into other people's, electronics, and it shows there's a description for every NPC you run across. And I think I'll have to double check. I think I sent you a picture last night, bud, of
Aisha Tyler.
Aisha Tyler. I heard, I want to say last year, that she was actually working on the game with Ubisoft or Ubisoft, however you want to pronounce it. I was expecting her to be an actual character in the game. Spoiler alert, hopefully stop listening. I don't know how big of a spoiler this is, but she turned out to just be some random NPC that I found on the streets, and I was like, that is so cool. But yeah, I think my favorite part is just everybody in the game has a little background to them, and it makes you think when you're playing the game. So say you're in one area and you have, these guards you got to get around. You can go in guns blazing and just, put a cap in everyone. But you might see that this guy, you might see that this one guard volunteers at a homeless shelter. And you're like, you don't want to kill that guy because he's a good guy, It's like, and he only makes like $30,000 a year. Come on. But it's interesting. It's very dynamic, and I hope a lot of games start doing it because it really makes it interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that games have been missing for a long time is that NPCs always feel like less than human.
Exactly.
Like you don't mind just running people over in Grand Theft Auto. Not even if you're not trying to. Like sometimes people intentionally try to create as much havoc, but I usually play those games pretty straight, and I don't just like blow up random people. But especially in this game, I feel bad. I don't feel bad hacking people for their money, but I feel bad if I accidentally kill someone and I see like they have a name, they have a whole life, and all this stuff. It's like I'm actually killing someone. But one of the things, the Aisha Tyler thing I'd seen before you sent that picture, but that's funny that you'd seen it. Another thing that I saw was that Greg Miller from IGN has a shout out in there. There's actually a grave marker or multiple grave markers, like tombstones and stuff, with his name on them. I think it says G Miller, but obviously it's Greg Miller. Yeah. And so he was joking. He was joking with one of the PR people at Ubisoft about, about not surviving because he had cancer, and so he was talking about, oh, well, you didn't think I was going to beat the cancer, so you put me in the game. And I'm guessing that's not actually why they did that, but it's pretty funny to see all these references. And I think that's one of the cool things about open world games is that you can include a lot of these references. That's not my favorite part of the game, but I think that's a lot of fun when you can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do like the NPCs having names and backgrounds, and I think they forced it a little bit with the text conversations and phone conversations. They're all like hyper aggressive, and like these people are living these weird ass lives. Like, you know, it would have been more normal to be like, hey, what do you want from Wendy's tonight? Because I'm stopping by for dinner. You know, because that's probably what people talk about more than like, you know, raping someone or like stealing money and all that shit.
Like, yo, man, no, she's not getting away with this. It's like, yo, calm down, dog. No, I'm gonna go over there right now and I'm gonna kill her.
Bro, like, I'm getting that double bacon with cheese. I'm getting that double bacon with cheese. What you want? You want chicken salad? You want chicken salad? You want chicken sandwich? You gonna be fatty tonight? That's more. You want a medium or a large? That's the real question. You want some sweet and sour sauce with that? All right. That's more what it should be. One of my favorite things is the hacking. I think is a really good foundation. This is the first game and what's going to be a franchise because they sold a shit ton of these games.
Yeah.
And so I think they have a good start. It's not as great as it could be, but I imagine hopefully it has the Assassin's Creed effect, where Assassin's Creed 1 was really fun when you first played it, but then when you played Assassin's Creed 2, you're like, holy god, this is amazing.
Shout out to Assassin's Creed 2, one of my favorite games of all time. Anyway.
Yep. And so hopefully it has that effect. But I like the camera-to-camera hacking and, like, you know, trying to set up your intrusion on everyone and blowing things up. And the car chases are okay. I've gotten used to the driving. I still think it's kind of crappy, but it's not the focus of the game, so I don't really care that much. But it is fun when you can perfectly time, like, the blockers were, like, ripping up off the road.
Without
and, like,
them jumping up and, you know, hitting your back tires and your car just nosedives into the concrete.
Exactly. But I think it's cool. It's a cool design. The story's pretty good. I haven't gotten that far to say whether I really, really like it or not, but it's okay. It's kind of cliche in some places, but it's a big game, so they're usually not the most innovative.
I think I was looking at the progress the other night, and I want to say there's 5 acts, and I think I'm close to getting to the second act, and I've probably put in 6 hours maybe. So, I mean, it seems like a pretty lengthy game, so...
Yeah, it's a healthy-sized game, so it should be fun to keep around. I think that was the one thing with Second Son, which I still think is the game that I've enjoyed most on PlayStation 4, is that it kind of, it captivated me a lot for the first playthrough, which took maybe 12 or 15 hours, and then after that, I haven't played much, even though I think about it every time I turn on my PlayStation, but it hasn't done it. So hopefully Watch Dogs has enough on the side to keep me going.
Yeah. But I'm impressed, though. I mean, it's so many people are waiting for this game. There's a lot of hype behind it. I don't think it's as crazy as what they showed at E3 back in, what was it, 2012?
Yeah.
Come to New York.
Yep, sorry guys. There's cops everywhere.
I'll let that pass. I'm impressed with the game. It's not what I understand. A lot of people's complaints, I guess, they had with it because, you know, it's E3. You're gonna show your best stuff, and it's probably not gonna look like that ever. But so far, man, it's really good. I'm glad I bought it. I had a conversation with Brian about whether I should buy it. He had just bought it, and I was like, I don't want to spend $60, man. So much money, blah blah. Finally, I was like, screw it. Went and bought it. Really glad I did. Anyone listening, if you're kind of on the fence, I say go for it. If you can afford it, get it, because it's fun, really fun.
You know, I'm starting to think that way about games in general, which is a longer conversation, which maybe we should have a different time, but I would say for pretty much any game, unless it's complete crap, you know, like, if you have the money and you think you want it, just go buy it, because you're just going to miss out if you don't, and it could be your favorite game, you know? So, like, a lot of people with Wolfenstein, like, it got good reviews, but it didn't get amazing reviews. And so I know there are a lot of people that's like, well, should I play it? You know, there aren't any games for PlayStation 4. And it's like, yeah, go play it. Like, that could end up being your favorite game of the, you know, generation. I doubt it. I'd hope not. But, you know, it's still worth it to play. And that's how I feel about all these indie titles that Sony's, you know, supporting, is that, you know, why not play these games for $10 or $15? Because even if you only play it for 10 hours, like, you're talking about $1 an hour for entertainment. Like, that's incredible. And you're supporting people's jobs. Like, I don't know. I think that's a big thing for me to grow up as a gamer, to not just play these big AAA games all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Stop pirating games, people.
That too. Stop stealing. But yeah, Watch Dogs. Go buy it. I don't give ratings, but I say it's worth it to play. Hopefully the story ends well. Hopefully the ending's not too open. I want to see kind of a wrap up, even though there will be a second one for sure.
Yeah, my roommate bought it for 360, and he's, I want to say, quite a ways ahead of I am, because he got it before me, of course. But he was talking about how the story is really starting to pick up and get good. So hopefully once I hit the second act, it'll. Which I don't have any qualms with the story as it stands right now, but looking forward to it, seeing where it goes. Because right now, through that first act, there's a lot of different ways it could go, and I'm trying to figure out everything. Like, oh, I bet it's this person, or like, what's going on, or. Mm-hmm. But it'll be interesting. Well, I'll have another day off to just do nothing but play that, so that's cool. But
yeah, that is my day today. So hopefully, as soon as I finish this, I will be going back to play and watch Dags. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to throw in this sweet inaugural podcast?
Give a shout out to all the Hooters out there.
All the ladies, all the single ladies.
That's what I want to call our fans now, is Hooters.
The single ladies? Hooters?
Just Hooters. Just like there's a Hooter.
Like Hooters, the restaurant?
No, not, dude, we're taking it back. We're taking Hooters back, because...
To actually imply owls?
I don't know about y'all, but if you've ever recently been in a Hooters, there's no Hooters. There's no Hooters.
Zero Hooters.
Zero Hooters.
I haven't been in a Hooters.
I've actually never been to Hooters ever, so...
it's pretty good. I mean, the beer and the chicken wings, but it's not as you know, when you're a little kid and it's like Hooters, man. It's like, it's crazy. You think it's this grand place, but nope, it's just a restaurant with small boobs.
It's too bad. But yeah, okay, well, everybody that listens to this, all like 12 of you, who we probably all know personally, you can refer to yourself as Hooters now, so congratulations.
All y'all Hooters out there.
All y'all Hooters.
Now we're going to play a slow germ.
Hootie hoo.
But this has been good.
Yeah, good first show, guys.
Do it in the future. High fives.
High fives. No one can see me, but I have my hand up to the screen.
Yeah.
I made clapping noises, so, you know, it's like we're in the same room, but not quite.
Almost.
All right, cool. Well, until next time, y'all, you can follow me on Twitter, or you can not follow me on Twitter. And, yeah, same with Dane, and not with Doug, because Doug doesn't have Twitter, because Doug is an 85-year-old man.
I don't believe in social media. Haha.
Because you don't like the Hooters out there. How are the Hooters going to say hi?
Dude, the Hooters is going to say hi through the website.
No, they're not.
Because, see, they know who we are now. They've had some FaceTime with you two. They've heard my golden voice. So now they're going to get on the website, and they're going to start commenting, and we're going to have a grand time. So get out there, Hooters.
Yes, come to our website. We'll start writing stuff soon, hopefully about stuff we talked about today, and then we can all have a big conversation, because I think that's the biggest thing that all three of us want, is just have conversation with other people. So come talk to us about games or music. If you like Queens of the Stone Age, if you like the Foo Fighters, shout out to the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl, I want your baby. Not literally, but because you have kids. He has a TV show coming out on HBO. You should watch that too. It's coming out this fall.
Oh, dude, stop sponsoring. Stop sponsoring.
New album. New Foo Fighters album this fall with a bunch of guest appearances from people like Cheap Trick's guitarist and stuff. Yeah. So, anyway. I believe this is the time we all say goodbye. Stop that broadcast. So long.
Goodbye.
I love you guys. Sony is the one on the airplane going in and pulling off the smoke detector and smoking in that bathroom. Those cool guys. They say, fuck this shit.